Let's talk about what I've done the last few months with building my Saas app. So the first thing I've done since the last video is I built the user auth to set up the infrastructure for dev and prod environments. I also created a database schema that allows me to scale. I'll get to what that means, and implemented the logic to fetching everything to my app. So, like I said in the previous episode, I restarted everything because the UI was pretty terrible and I wanted everything to look proper and nice. So, I've restarted with a better understanding of what I want. So, that's what I'm trying to do. I start off with building the user auth. So, initially, I built the user auth in a way that you can only have a single account. And if you ever wanted more users, you couldn't really do that. So I was thinking about how to get that done. What I need at the top level is an organization table in the database so that a user can be connected to a single organization, which means all their integration is also connected to the organization rather than the user, and the user would be its own thing. You can have multiple users with different role-based access under an organization, and the creator of the account is essentially the super root admin, and everyone he invites is essentially just users. And in the future, I'm starting off with a single user, but when I'm implementing a feature to add more users, I'm able to implement that. Secondly, I wanted to set up the infrastructure with dev and prod. So one mistake I did multiple times was I would build everything at the start. So I would try to get from the idea to the implementation of everything, and then I would work on the infrastructure. I realized pretty quickly both times I've built before. So I built the app once before and I tried again and it wasn't that great. But I realized both times that when I ended up creating the infrastructure after building the app, it would be really difficult to get all the little bits working because there'd be an error with a node file or something like a HTML file not building properly, and working with external bundlers. Setting up the infrastructure was always a pain. So setting up the infrastructure at the start, then doing it later. And I used a tool called SST to create all my AWS infrastructure and then link it to my app. I can create my secrets, the queues, Lambda functions, and database, but I'm not using RDS, I'm using PlanetScale as my database. All that can be automatically made, and then with SSC, I can use stages to set up a dev environment and a production environment. Depending on if it's a prod or a dev environment, I can set the domains for dev and prod. So once I had the infrastructure set up, it was time to set up the database schema. When I was setting up the database schema, I realized pretty quickly the initial way I set things up was I would have a single product table, product variance table, and I would have a eBay accounts table, and I would have a Shopify accounts table. Having that set up meant that it was very difficult to have multiple eBay accounts pointing to the same product, or having eBay account, Shopify account, or product pointing the same product, because there would be issues when it comes to deleting, querying the data properly, effectively, and it was just a clunky way of designing it. And also having multiple accounts, it was very difficult to design that as well. So I was thinking very hard about how I could get that done. Let's say in the future I have eBay and Shopify, but I want to add an Amazon integration, or I want to add a TikTok shop integration. I want this schema to be able to handle that in the future. To do that, I essentially have to have a platforms table, which allows me to create platforms, add a new platform in there. And then we have a platform connection table. This platform connection table will take in all the integrations that you add into your account. So you as a user connect to your eBay account or your Shopify account, and it creates a new platform connection. And then if you add another eBay account or a Shopify account, it adds another platform connection. So you have multiple platform connections, but then you also want that linked to a unique, like a eBay accounts table with eBay or Shopify specific data. So you have platforms, platform connections, and then you have eBay accounts table and Shopify accounts table with their own unique data. So if I have an Amazon, and if I add Amazon as an integration, I add Amazon into platforms, and then I can add the Amazon account into platforms connections, and then also have all the Amazon unique information like access token and stuff inside the Amazon platform table. And then I also have a platform product links table. This way, I can link a platform, its product variant, and its platform connection all into a single table, which makes it easier to query. And also, if let's say I import a product and it create the product variant, and the platform connection, and let's say I import a different product, but they have the same SKUs from, let's say, Shopify. And when that happens, if the SKUs match, I don't want another product and product variant to be created. I simply want a platform connection to be made so that the integrity of this data stays valid. Having that structure makes my database scalable for more integrations, more products. And then if I want to delete a product, the product exists and there's multiple connections, I simply delete the connection with the product and the platform connection itself. But if it's just the single product and a single platform connection, I can simply delete everything. That was slightly harder than I thought, so that was something difficult. That's what I've done so far, and I've also thought about competitors. I don't know, it's like a slight worry I have because there's people out there that have already made the app, and I've asked myself the question is like, why am I building this app when the app already exists? But since I'm always second guessing myself, I'm like, no, I carry on. I'll make this stuff, and that's what I'm doing because I think I can do it better. That's honestly it. I think I can do it better, which is why I'm doing it. Hopefully, I can do it better, and it doesn't just burn to the ground. Yeah. The next step is to create the actual syncing ability, allowing products to sync between stores. And then I want that to be perfect as well. And then once that's done, I want a way to import your products and export your products. That way users can easily start off. That's essentially what I want to do this right now. And that's the goal. Hopefully the next episode I get that done. But yeah, that's me. Bye.